interface. I need a screen where you can actually see all the artifacts you found. Blah 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 blah. Alright, so my plan for today's video was to record bits and pieces throughout my week, show you a little bit of a slice of my week as a game developer, but everything I recorded is pretty useless. I watched it back a little bit. Some of it is boring, other stuff is not lit correctly, and some of it is out of focus, and it's just not what I wanted to create. So a very productive week, lots of cool stuff to be shown in this video, but everything I recorded is useless and in the bin. So it's now Saturday morning and I'm gonna create a completely new video for you, because it's gonna be a great video for you and the weird guy in the back. Anyway, after the intro, completely new video, got a bunch of cool stuff to show you. So hang on, intro. Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel, and I'm telling you this because you might be new to the channel. I've been having a bunch of new subscribers, so welcome. If you're very new to the channel, I'm currently working on Residual. This is a great game that I'm wrapping up already. I've been working on it for about a year. The wrap up stage usually doesn't really make for good YouTube videos because it's a lot of boring work. Except this week, I actually worked on a couple of key features, some big stuff. It's very visual, and visual stuff works very well on a YouTube video, obviously. So let's dive into the first thing, and this is going to be about the artifacts. I mentioned artifacts in a couple of videos, the last couple of videos actually. Artifacts will be spread throughout the galaxy and you can find them on planets. We just needed a little interface for it, a database. And that's what I've been working on this week, but also all the code behind it. So to make sure that every artifact is at least placed once in the universe that you're going to be playing in, or in the galaxy that you'll be playing in, so that you will be able to find all 100 artifacts. And I actually managed to complete all 100 artifacts. Let me first show you just the whole list of artifacts, and this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler sneak preview, but I'll do it very quickly so that you have no idea what I just showed you, which probably doesn't make for good YouTube content, but bear with me. This is all gonna make sense eventually. All right, this is my wallpaper, and I'm get to this, what's happening here in a minute. But first, let's open up GIMP. So last week I showed you the first couple of these artifacts and mentioned that most of these are gonna be based on Orangepixel games and just gadgets, icons, and we have different kind of swords from Heroes of Loot, different kind of health from different type of games. We have the Gunslugs here, and we have the alternate Gunslugs, we have dogs from Ashworld, we have just a lot of these artifacts now, and like I said, I'm going to do it very quickly. So these are all the artifacts you'll be able to find scattered throughout the galaxy. Alright, so this is how it looks on screen, and it's pretty simple screen for now, but it's a first draft and I'm kind of happy with what is there. We can move to one of the artifacts unlocked, and over here you'll see all the information from this artifact. So the description of it and the group, because everything comes in 4, so it's always 4 different artifacts belonging to one group. And why is this in my mug? And then we also see the location you found this artifact, so the planet you found it. So you can share this with your friends. You should try to visit this planet, hop on that planet, and you'll be able to find this and that artifact, which I think could be a cool little extra feature for players to just share this information somewhere, somehow. I don't care, there are 100 artifacts. If you know where to find a certain artifact, share it with the world. So, or with the whole universe, actually. That makes sense. Alright, so it's a fairly simple screen, and this didn't really take me that long to create. But I also had to create all these artifacts. I think I had a little over 50 and now we have 100 artifacts, and I might still add a couple more. So I had to create all those artifacts. I also had to create all the code that makes sure that every artifact is at least placed once in the universe. It would be kind of silly to have 100 artifacts and 40 of them weren't placed anywhere because the first 20 were placed at 3 locations. So a bunch of code behind the scenes to now spread these artifacts across the galaxy. And it's all up and running. So there's just a lot of extra content for players who really get into the game and want to unlock everything and see everything. Go crazy and find all artifacts. Of course, the question remains, if you're being dumped on a random planet and you only find 1 of 2 artifacts on the planet, will you ever be able to find the second artifact? Yes, you will. For that, we also added a free play mode, which was already in the game, but you need to unlock that free play mode if you can, so that you can actually select the planet you're crashing on and you can go back to this planet. If you can't unlock the free play mode, then you'll just have to wait until that planet comes into your rotation again when you start a new game. So there are enough options to unlock all artifacts, and there might be some secret stuff here and there to unlock or find certain artifacts even quicker. There will most likely be another way to locate and find artifacts. Right. The other cool stuff, eye catchers. And what is an eye catcher? Well, literally it catches your eye, or at least you'll be drawn to it. And I noticed when creating screenshots and wallpapers, actually check the Discord for free wallpapers every now and then. When I create wallpapers, most of the most interesting settings were either with an object or something that you had to interact with in the game. And if that wasn't there, the only real eye catcher or the really cool scenes were with waterfalls. And nothing wrong with that. And after a year of development, those waterfalls still look amazing to me. So to new players, it's still gonna be great and awesome. But for screenshots and marketing and all that stuff, I don't want screenshots with just a lot of waterfalls. I want some variation and some eye-catching areas. So my main focus for this was just create huge, big objects, place them in a cave, add some light effects to it, and make sure they pop out at the player. So if you're walking around in all these dark areas and you don't have a torch or anything with you, and you come into this room, it has all this light going on and all these effects, like, I should just probably stop talking about it, show you. It's not an ear catcher, it's an eye catcher. So let's hunt down a couple of eye catchers. There are now 3 in the game. I'll be able to find them all 3. Let's go. Let's first get out of our crashed spaceship, and actually got another cool feature coming up in a few minutes about oh, hang on, you're gonna love this. Anyway, eye catchers. All right, so this is the first one that we encounter, and this is one also on the wallpaper. So it doesn't really have any purpose at all besides just looking pretty and light up the area, light up the world, because as you can see, everything else is pretty dark unless you make sure you have a torch with you. But I want these things to really pop out and stand out. So this is the first one. So this is the second one, and honestly, I don't even know what I've been drawing here, just that it looks cool. There's this light going on, some orange light here, some blue light, orange and blue, always a good match. It has no purpose for the game at all besides looking mysterious and being an eye catcher, being something that you can really find and really take a picture of, because we have a snapshot mode. So right now I can say show logo on there, create a nice wallpaper, and if I want it to be a bit more centered or left to the right, this snapshot mode is now in the game. So another feature, and it's pretty cool. Save snapshot, and we now have a new wallpaper. And this is the third one, a more plant-like version of an eye catcher. Again, it doesn't really mean anything for the game. It's just something that looks amazing and awesome and lights up an area, which really makes it interesting, I think. So we're gonna be adding a few more of these eye catchers. Dylan, the intern, is also gonna draw a few. I'll probably do a couple more, so that there's a huge amount of variation, and these don't appear everywhere in the game world. They appear at certain intervals, so there's always something to walk into. And that kind of brings me to the third and big feature of this video. I put some time into this, but Dylan, the intern, put almost the whole week into this, animating an intro. There was an intro, but it was quickly done by me in just a few hours so that I had some sort of intro for, I think, the Kickstarter demo version. It wasn't really good at all, not interesting, not impressive, but it was an intro. So what I did this week was give Dylan this little storyboard right here, just some scribble notes, and send him on his way. Create some cool intro animation pixel art. And he came back with something pretty amazing. So I'm not gonna show you the intro. I'm just gonna show you a tiny bit of it and some artwork made for it. So if you don't want to watch this, and I did this last week, which was a great success, close your eyes for a few minutes and I'll let you know when you can open them. This went very well last week and a lot of people closed their eyes. I don't know how, I can't know if you close your eyes. Anyway, here we go. Close your eyes, close them now. Right, so this is the first phase, and this is the intro he made. So all very cool, and then a bunch of stuff happens, and that's about it. All right, so you can open your eyes again. I will show you some animation frames here and there of what he created, which is just a lot of cool artwork, and seeing it all come together in the intro animation once you actually get to see it, it's pretty sweet. So let me just show you some of the animation frames. So this is the main character being animated, and the funny thing is my original idea was just to have one static image of this guy in his cockpit, and then I would do a bunch of stuff and effects with colors and things like that. But Dylan went pretty far with the animation, and when I saw his black and white version of this, I figured just go ahead, this is gonna be awesome. And it actually is. And then we have a cockpit creation graphic here. I did add some stuff to the borders and to the edges, but all in all, a lot of art being created this week. And once this art was all done, I had to do a bunch of coding, which was a little bit more than I expected, but I really wanted to make the best intro possible. And all this graphic and the code behind it and the light effects, and yeah, a very cool addition to the game, especially for players who get into the game for the first time and seeing that intro animation crashing on a planet, and then your adventure begins. Alright, so let's end this video with some comments on last week's YouTube video. Residual looks great, your pixel art beautiful, balanced and easy to look at. I can tell they've been doing this for a while. Yes, there is a lot of years that I've been doing pixel art. I actually started in the time that there was nothing else but pixel art because computers had very low resolutions. So I've been doing it a while, even started with using pen and paper, and then have a grid paper, and then you mark the boxes that you want to be drawn in, and then you had to add all the pixel or all the bits, and that way you knew. Be glad that we have a lot of tools these days. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Make more intros like this. If I had the time, I would, and if I had a lot of ideas, I would, because sometimes you just need a good idea to do it. And I wish my devlog were half as good as yours are. On a lighter note, Residual would be great to hear you're going to be purchasing Residual when it comes out. Just as for the devlogs, keep making them and you'll get better at it, and it becomes faster and easier to create these. Like last week's intro with 2 of me in one shot. I think with the recording and editing, it took me just about an hour. And there are a lot of little mistakes in there, and if you watch them over and over that intro, you will notice all these mistakes. But it works for a devlog, for a weekly devlog, and for somebody who doesn't have a lot of time, it just works. So yeah, I see Pascal in the usual struggle with his team. You should lock the door. But there's no lock on this door. We had to take that off to use it on another door. So I would lock the door, but I'm pretty sure that other guy is gonna find a way to get in here. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually 100% certain he will find a way, but not today. These intros are fun, Pascal, great work. Thank you, Timothy. Really enjoy your vids. I think Residual will do good, it looks great, and the no weapons or violence will make it stand out too. How will you decide pricing, or will the publisher decide? Publisher and I decided both on the pricing, so it's decided on. I'm not gonna tell it, but it's decided on, and you'll all find out eventually. And also the software developer, I have some small Android games published and have been following, and thanks for the inspiration. Yeah, thanks for these comments. I love to hear how I'm inspiring other developers, because that's why I do these YouTube videos, to hopefully inspire people to also make games, or to inspire gamers to understand that there's a lot of stuff going on before you actually get to play a game. So thanks for the comment. Bro, 3 questions, is open world? That's not a question, that's a statement. And I don't think I don't think Residual is open world. But then again, sort of is, but not. Is released Android, and right now focus is on PC and all the consoles. So don't know, probably eventually, maybe ask me again next year. Is good game? Yes, good statement. It's a good game. Thank you for that statement. It's not a question unless you ask. So, no. All right, moving on. Hi Pascal, nice to see updates on the game. I have a few questions. What engine are you using for this game? My own engine built on libgdx, which runs in Java. The console version will run in monogame, but it's pretty much my own engine. 95% of everything going on is my own code. Is there any way I can access one of your source codes? No. Alright, so that seems to be the most interesting questions on last week's video. And ask them for this week's video, and the most interesting questions will get some feedback in next week's video. Because wrapping up a game, as I'm doing right now in Residual, and content and interesting content for these videos is a little bit thin, because most of the days I'm working on the game, it's just working on boring bug fixing and tweaks and changes that are not very visual. So I'm using these YouTube comment reading and replying basically to fill up my video time. And I think I did that very well this week. So I'm gonna wrap up the video right here. No, just kidding. A like, subscribe, comment below, jump on the Discord. Lots of fun stuff happening there, and a lot of great connections made on Discord as well. People I'm now probably gonna be working with here and there. It's all very interesting. Discord, YouTube, I love it. And I'll see you next week, hopefully, probably. You should subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that way you'll get a notification when next week's video goes live. And you don't want to miss it, because next week's video is gonna be, wow. I have no idea what next week, I have no idea, but it's gonna be good. See you next week, bye! This is not going anywhere, so I'm gonna redo all of this, because this is gonna be a great video. Spread around to make, but besides doing this whole screen, because I think this, yeah. So if you're walking around in the dark ages, boing, chicka, boom, boom, yeah. Last thing for this video, I